Hey, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Just making sure we're live here. Reset. There we go. We're live. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, today is Tuesday, November 7th. Now, this is an unusual day because not a lot of people are here. Guess that happens sometimes. Yeah, we're live. We're live. So glad that you could join me. I have an interesting story to start off with, and it really is embarrassing, and this can really be eye-opening, this video today, just kind of the state of the world that we're in. So, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. Can we talk about Joe Biden and his stubbornness? This is for all the millions and millions of people tuning in. Yeah. Let's talk about Joe Biden and his stubbornness. I mean, this guy's so determined to cling on to a story that's been debunked more than a flat earther theory. It's like he's auditioning for a role of general manager at Fantasyland. Now, Joe's been telling this Amtrak tale about a conductor who supposedly greeted him with a Joey baby. It's like some Hollywood script. I mean, his story's been fact-checked more times by Snopes, C&N, and everybody else, including myself. And every time he tells it, it's like he's trying to sell us oceanfront property in Oklahoma. But what's even more concerning is that his own advisors have reportedly told him to stop peddling this fiction, yet he just won't let it go. It's as if he's stuck in a time loop, unable to take advice from the people around him. That's not a great quality for a president, folks, you know. It's like if your GPS tells you to turn left, but you insist on driving straight into the lake. I mean, it's clear Joe Biden's mental fortitude is about as sturdy as a wet paper bag. And if he can't heed the advice of his own team on a simple, debunked story, what does that say about his ability to make critical decisions for our country? I mean, I would not be comfortable with him as a general manager of a Walgreens. And even then, I'd be checking the expiration dates on any pain reliever I bought there. Look, maybe Joe Biden should stick to coloring books and train sets instead of running the country. And I'm not talking about Amtrak trains, because we know that's a fictional journey too. But hey, in Joe's world, who needs facts when you got a good story? Ain't that right, Joey baby? My name's Tom Coffee. It's a Coffee Nuance Show. It is a censored commentary news show live right now. Flame on. Oh, thanks for joining. What's up, Big Daddy? What's up, Natasha? I'm so glad a couple people are here today. But this story is really interesting. Joe Biden repeated this false story, personal story, about an Amtrak conductor who supposedly greeted him with Joey baby and praised his rail ridership. He recounted this anecdote twice during a pro-commuter rail event in Delaware, despite it being debunked by fact checkers. In the story, Biden claims to have traveled over 1 million miles on Amtrak during his time as vice president. However, this claim's been disproven, as he didn't reach that mileage until well after the conductor's retirement. Biden has a history of embellishing personal stories, and this repetition of a debunked tale comes as he faces concerns about his age and fitness for another 4 years as president. But this is just embarrassing. This is just embarrassing, and I understand there's other news, but why is this not the biggest news story in the world? Can you imagine if someone the media didn't carry water for did this? What if Trump told a story that was debunked and he's told it again? We would hear about it endlessly. But this Joe Biden Amtrak story, it's now the 12th time he's told it after it being debunked. This is like just a stubborn old senior citizen that doesn't care. Doesn't care. He's going to do what he does. That is not the quality that I want in a president. I don't think anyone wants that quality in a president. Why are people not calling that out? Why? I don't understand. But this came up, and this got real depressing. I got some other stories to get to, so don't worry about that. But this, as I was looking into this story, I said, oh, you know what? I think I did a video on this. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. So here it is, right up here. You can recognize, you know, my video here. But in the thumbnail, I put a train load of poop emoji, and this was for a Fact Check Friday. This was 2 years ago. Got a couple hundred views because I used to get a couple hundred views. And that's when I'm searching for Coffee and Nuance Fact Check Biden on YouTube. Okay, now as we know, Google owns YouTube. Right. But I tried finding it a couple different ways. Let me show you what happened here. So on Google, and you can try this for yourself, I put in the exact title of the story. The title of the story is Biden's Amtrak Story Takes Truth for a Ride. Hashtag fact check, hashtag Biden. So I searched for that on Google, and then I added in Coffee and Nuance, the name of my channel. Look what it says here, right? It says, no results found for Biden's Amtrak story takes truth for a ride. Hashtag fact check. Hashtag Biden. Coffee and Nuance. Google says there's no results. I'm clicking on videos here, right up here, videos. So here's USA Today's fact check on it. Fox News's fact check on it. Somebody else's fact check on it. Somebody else. Oh, New York Post. Oh, this was The Sun, the New York Post. USA Today. Tucker Carlson Tonight. GOP War Room. Okay, so we got a number of different places that have made videos about this. But mine, which is hosted by YouTube, and hosted by BitChute, and hosted by Rumble, and across various platforms. According to Google, when I search for the exact title doesn't exist. Do you understand now why the internet and our media is so bad? Is this not a perfect example of why search engines are compromised and are not working so that we can learn more about the world? They're instead working to support a narrative. My exact titled video doesn't exist on Google. Well, here I searched on Bing, same thing. And guess what? Bing doesn't have my videos now either. Well, we can find Fox Business News and other big mainstream outlets, but even when I search for the exact title of my video, it doesn't exist on Bing anymore. Brave browser. I like Brave. Brave is a great browser, and I encourage you to download the Brave browser. But I clicked on videos, exact title. They can't find it either. Doesn't exist. Somebody else here, Joe's Crazy Train Story. So someone else got theirs up there. I clicked on this. This guy's just like wrote a song about it. But the exact title of my video, it's not there. So here's my video. This was 2 years ago. Got lots of good comments. Lots of great comments. Nearly 92 likes. I think it'd be fun if it had 100 likes. So perhaps I'll link this video in the description of the video. If you haven't gone over and liked this video yet, you can do that. I think it's pretty good, but I explain what happened for that Biden Amtrak story. But I tell you what, it's things like this that really gets me down. It really depresses me, and it tells me, it makes it hard that, like, I can do work trying to expose things, trying to tell people what's going on, and all the search engines make sure that you can never get that information. You can never get that information. It's really depressing. And, you know, you can speculate in the comments. I would like to know, why is it why is it that that all my videos are not searchable? That'd be interesting to you know, if you ever talk with someone and they say, oh, you know, things aren't being censored. Our government's not doing censorship. They're not doing that. Well, look at my channel. You can let them search for it themselves on their own phone. And just see what happens. Okay? Anyway, I know that's real depressing. That's not how you want to start your day, so we can get to some other stories. But I just wanted to let you know about that and why it's so frustrating for me to even bother doing this. I don't know. But let's get to another story, because we gotta protect democracy, right? Let's protect democracy. We're fighting for democracy. Yeah. Zelensky is saying, no elections, please. He's like the guy who cancels his gym membership because he's just too fit. You know, it's good for democracy when even politicians are afraid to compete, right? That's a sign. So here's the story. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has stated that holding elections in Ukraine is not appropriate at the moment. His 5-year term comes to an end. He argues that Ukraine should focus on defending itself against Russia's invasion and not engage in divisive political activities. Who needs divisive political activities or elections? Right? Although he had previously considered the possibility of a presidential election next year, elections are currently suspended in the country due to martial law. Zelensky believes that it's time for unity and defense. With structures in the state capable of resolving political disputes, the next presidential election in Ukraine is scheduled for next March. As Zelensky's 5-year term is ending, the decision on whether he will run for re-election may depend on the country's need for him as president and the ability to conduct a free and fair election. Free and fair election. So yeah. Who needs elections? And that's probably happening here too, right? Who needs transparency? Who needs hand-counted paper ballots? We don't need that. That's too much work. That's too much work. We can just have machines count it. We just have algorithms count it. We can just have machines connected to the internet count it, right? We don't need count things by hand. That's what Neanderthals did. Back in the cave, they would, you know, pass around a rock and people would chip their... I'm kidding. I have no idea. But, yeah. So when you hear politicians say we're giving billions of dollars to Ukraine so they can run a democracy. Yeah, just agree with them. Just say, yeah, I agree. Democracy doesn't need votes. Democracy is what it is, right? Okay, all right. Speaking of corruption. Looks like Costa took the term green energy a bit too seriously as he tried to turn his government into a green washing machine. Yeah, here's the story. Portuguese Prime Minister Antonio Costa has resigned due to corruption investigation following a police raid on his residence. The investigations related to corruption in lithium exploration projects and a green hydrogen initiative. His resignation leaves the decision of new elections or appointing a new prime minister to the Portuguese president. Costa has been in office since 2015, overseeing a tourism boom, but facing criticism for various issues. His resignation may impact his aspirations for a top European Union role. You think? You think you register under, you resign for corruption, and you're like, oh, man, this sucks. This might impact me getting a job in the EU. No, probably not. It's probably a prerequisite, right? You want to be part of the EU. Top job there. Prove how corrupt you've been. Okay, good. We'll take you on now. That's kind of how it works. Yeah, there's been a lot of changes to Portugal in the last couple of years. I've been monitoring Portugal because of their program where they allowed people to purchase real estate in exchange for citizenship. Now that program's gone now. They've also done other things to bring in tourism, such as digital nomad visas, where you can get a visa to go to Portugal for like half a year and work there remotely. So they've been doing a lot to try to bring in tourism dollars, and apparently making off with a bunch of money. Oh, I don't know, man. What are the odds that people in leadership roles in government are crooks? I mean, that doesn't happen very often, but occasionally, like it did in this time in Portugal, it happened. But it's probably a total outlier. Don't draw any conclusion about any other politician, because I'm sure they're all on the up and up. Speaking of Europe, I got one more story about this, which is interesting, shall we say. Yeah. Okay. Hey, I was wondering, just as a side note, you know, I have the little green frame around the picture. Have you ever noticed that it moves? Have you ever noticed that it has a slight movement to it? I don't know. I that amuses me, but I don't know if anyone's ever noticed that. So anyway, let's see. You know, this French immigration debate is like a game of oui and non. They're trying to find political compromise, but it's like trying to find a mix of wine and cheese. Sometimes it just doesn't go together. Here's the story. French Interior Minister Gérald Darmanin has proposed immigration legislation. Forgive me for that bad accent. I got to do something to crack myself up. I'm trying to have more fun in the midst of all this doom. He's proposed legislation aimed at being tougher on foreign criminals and expediting deportations of those considered a threat to public order. The bill also offers legal status to some undocumented workers in sectors with labor shortages. faces opposition from conservatives who fear it may attract more migrants to France. Prime Minister Elizabeth Borne defends the provision, and human rights activists and organizations criticize the bill because, of course, they do, because it potentially infringes on migrants' rights and dehumanizing them because they commit crime. Oops. Amnesty International France sees it as inadequate in protecting the rights of people in exile and potentially making things worse. Because, you know, when you come in as an immigrant and you commit violent crime, you know, you're just not used to this new society. You know, you just didn't know. I mean, you could do those acts of violence where you came from. That was totally acceptable. You're not used to this Western way of thinking of, like, you know, not hurting other people, not sexually assaulting other people, not robbing other people. You know, that's not part of your culture, apparently. Right, that's what the human rights groups, the activists, the advocates would want you to believe, that these poor African migrants, they're not used to a place that you just can't go rape people. So, you know, you shouldn't kick them out of the country when they do things like that, because they don't know any better. Yeah, I would like anyone that does those kinds of crimes to be in prison. Absolutely. And to prison. And then when their prison term is done, then they're deported and they're never allowed back into the country. That's what I would like. That's what I would like. As a side note, I'll share something. In my life, something very serious happened to someone very close to me by someone that was here illegally. And it totally affected their life. And it totally affected their relationship with me. And it was a horrible, horrible, horrible thing that would not have happened if we didn't have such a permissive immigration here in the U.S. And, you know, it's a lot of the same people. You know, you'll see a lot of 100-pound college girls saying, "Yay, immigrants, immigrants welcome," or, you know, "Refugees welcome, refugees welcome." And you think that until they sexually assault you, and you might change your mind. It's affected me personally, and yeah, I might be a little bitter about it. So I don't know. Boy, I'm being bitter today. I am not being the optimistic Tom that I would like to be. So let's turn it around and let's go to a more positive story, shall we? Hey, you know, folks, in this digital age, naming your restaurant Thai food near me is the equivalent of walking into a library and yelling, "I need a book." I mean, it's blunt, but it works. Maybe I should change the name of this channel to Funny Videos, because I couldn't do worse than I already am, right? Yeah, so here's the story. In today's digital age, a business success not only is about its offering, but also about its online visibility. A restaurant owner in Manhattan gained attention by naming his establishment Thai Food Near Me, leveraging local search optimization to ensure visibility in search results for those looking for Thai food cuisine nearby. Another savvy business owner applied a similar strategy by naming their dental practice Dentist Near Me to appeal to online searches. While some critics argue this approach lacks creativity, it is a valuable tactic in the competitive local business landscape. These businesses still need to provide quality service to retain customers, but, you know, I gotta hand it to them. Thai Food Near Me, that would get me. If I were to search and I saw that that was the name of the restaurant, I would get a chuckle and I would have to check it out. Or at least I'd look on Yelp, check out the reviews. Look like it got pretty good reviews, not too expensive. Okay, that's where I'm going for lunch. So maybe that's what I need to do. I need to come up with a more creative name as a way to maybe have a little more success on these video platforms. Maybe that's it. I have to think about that for a little while, but yeah, we can work on that. That's something we can work on. Anyway, I thought that that's fun. Have you heard of any other amusing names that may do really well with search engine optimization? Because I think that that is an important thing to keep in mind in current year, as long as the search engines work, right? As long as the search engines will actually show your business, as opposed to if you have a business or a video channel that search engines will never show the result for. Yeah, I guess the government really doesn't have it out for a Thai food restaurant, so they're probably not censoring the Thai food restaurant or the dentist, you know. But if you got some ideas, throw them out there, because, you know, I need a new business. Anyway, let's see, what else we got? You know, they say you can buy personal data on military personnel for less than 50 cents a pop. And if you want to know everything about a soldier, it's cheaper than a candy bar. But remember, folks, they say information is power. So pretty soon, we'll have the most well-informed enemy forces in the world. Yeah. Duke University researchers discovered that personal data on thousands of military personnel, including sensitive information, can be bought for under 50 cents per person from data brokers. This poses a potential national security risk, as foreign actors could exploit this data. I'm sure they already are. The ease and lack of verification in purchasing this information is concerning. Data brokers obtain this data from various sources, and there is a need for stronger regulations in the industry. Geolocation data is available for sale, except near undisclosed sensitive locations. So that's all it takes. That's all it takes. I say, you know, we don't need regulation. We don't need regulation. What we need, if somebody was selling my information for 50 cents that compromised my security and the security of my family, I would consider destroying that business self-defense, right? We've heard a lot about the right to self-defense. Well, I think the right to your personal data is self-defense. And anything that you do to fight people that are selling your personal information, right? That's self-defense. So I would hope, I don't want anyone to get hurt, so maybe they can just blow up these buildings at night when there's no one around. Drone strike them? I don't know. Take them out in creative ways. You know, maybe they could just have a water leak that'll get everyone to evacuate. Like they did, like they did when they were counting votes in Georgia, right? You know, you can come up with creative ways to deal with this. I don't know necessarily that regulation is the thing. But I think if I were military personnel, someone exposed my personal data like that, I don't know. Oops, I don't know what happened to that drone. I don't know. If that were the case, maybe less people would be selling this data for data brokers. I think data brokers rank up there with bike thieves. Yeah. I would say death to both those groups. Anyway, we need some good news, right? Some good news today? Why the hell not? Let's have some good news. Baskin-Robbins is offering an ice cream called Turkey Day Fixins for Thanksgiving, combining sweet and savory flavors. They've also brought back the turkey cake, a turkey-shaped ice cream cake. It's a holiday where you can have your turkey and eat your ice cream cake too. Yeah. So Baskin-Robbins everyone's favorite 31 Flavors, is celebrating Thanksgiving all month with its flavor of the month, Turkey Day Fixins. The ice cream flavor combines sweet potato, autumn spice ice creams with honey cornbread pieces and swirls of ocean spray cranberry sauce, offering a blend of sweet and savory Thanksgiving side flavors. Additionally, Baskin-Robbins is reintroducing the turkey cake, which resembles a roasted turkey and is filled with your choice of ice cream, adorned with sugar cone legs and covered in a caramel praline glaze. Oh my goodness, this sounds fantastic. I'm hoping that they have this at the Thanksgiving dinner that I go to this year. Man, that sounds great. And I got to hand it to Baskin-Robbins. They did a great job of getting free publicity just by coming up with something stupid, right? You come up with something crazy like this, you get your people writing press releases, sending them out to the media. All the lazy journalists will take the press release, put it out on their system. And so Baskin-Robbins, it's a win-win for everyone, really. Baskin, a lot of free publicity. All these bad journalists get to crank out another article without a whole lot of work, right? If you're into this kind of thing, it's something that you can try and share. I think it would be fun for all. And lastly, I get to make it as the good news story of the day because I kind of think it's good news. It's good news for everybody. We need more stories like this. Thanksgiving flavored ice cream and ice cream cakes. Man. Love it. Let's see, what do I got here? Video to me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Getting a notice here. Huh. Not sure what's happening with the stream. Seems to be a bit glitchy. Nothing on my end, though. I'm not doing it, so. Stick around for the after show, and I'll go through all your comments. All your comments on Rumble, all your comments on YouTube. We'll see if I'm able to stay online. We shall see. Anyway, hope you all are having a beautiful day. Tonight, back to an excellent connection. Good. Not sure what happened there. Tonight, on Midnight Americano on this channel, 9 p.m. on the West Coast, midnight on the East Coast, I will be doing another show and having fun. It's a good hang. It's a good hang, and my promise is I will be a lot more optimistic and fun than I was today. I will let this go. I will let all this go. So we can be a bit more optimistic tonight in that stream. So if you're up, come stop by, hang out. Love to see you then. Anyway, stick around for the after show. I'll see you in a bit. Peace. Yes, indeed. Thanks for sticking around. What is up, y'all? Checking out all the chat on the Rumble. Big Daddy's checking in. I was almost late looking at travel trailers. Interesting. Are you looking at a new travel trailer? Now, a travel trailer is one that you tow, right? It's not one that you drive. I guess if you drive it, it's a recreational vehicle, and if you pull it, it's a travel trailer. Is that how it works? I'm not sure. I was actually just talking about this week and over the weekend about putting in what is it called? Like an RV port, I guess, on the side of my house. putting in the electrical and putting in hookups. That's what they're called. The electrical hookup and a sewage hookup, so that it would be possible to park an RV and then have access to electricity and use of the bathroom, etc. Because I think that would be a good thing for me to have in case the world falls apart, right? I could rent out a space for someone in an RV. Or worst comes to worst, I get myself an RV, I move into the RV, I rent out my house, but we got to make plans for when everything goes to hell, right? So, Big Daddy, I look forward to hearing about the travel trailer that you get. That would be cool. Joe is compromised. It's obvious he's just a face for who's really controlling the country. I would agree with that. Seems like a puppet to me. Of course, our opinion doesn't matter much. And most people don't seem to care, do they? Scamtrak. I like the idea of Amtrak. I think that there's no reason that this country cannot have a nice public transit system. We've got train all across Europe. It's such a joy when you visit Europe. Now, I know that Europe is a lot denser than like the Western United States is. But it's so great that you can just get on in one city, go to the next city, get out and do that. I think it's a wonderful thing. I would love it if we would have more here. I guess the problem is who runs it and do they run it efficiently? And, as we always see when there is no competition, when there's a monopoly, things don't usually work that well. They get bloated. They get way too expensive. But I've done the Amtrak from Portland to Seattle. I've gone up there. I'm trying to think what I went up there for. Did I go up there for a Seahawks game or something? But I've done it. It was a beautiful ride. My recommendation, just move to the drink car because they got a nice big window. Hang out there. But there's no reason that the wealthiest country in the history of mankind can't have a decent public train system. There's no reason for that other than the corruption, all the bribes from the auto industry, etc., to politicians to make sure that we don't. I mean, that's what's going on there. It's not embarrassing, it's just plain evil. I kind of would agree with that. Yeah, 12th time's the charm. Pardon me. 12th time's the charm. No, he'll keep repeating this story. He will keep repeating this story. You can't stop him. Could be the most stubborn person I've ever seen in my entire life. Could be. If you know of anyone more stubborn than Joe Biden, let me know. But right now, he's the leader until I hear otherwise. King Zelensky. Yeah, you don't need elections. You don't need elections, Zelensky. It's like the same thing. He doesn't need other media companies in Ukraine, right? He was funded by a media mogul that got him elected, and then he outlawed all the other media companies, So who needs different media companies? Who needs elections? You don't need any of that. Yeah, King Zelensky. What would happen if you uploaded on a second channel? I don't know. I've been talking about it for all year that I need to start a different channel, not associated with me, a totally different channel. So I guess I can try. I should try that. I really should. So, of course, if I do that, I probably couldn't even say it here because then they would know, but maybe I could say on the other, on the other platform where it is. But I do have to figure out something because I tell you what, like just seeing this before the show, seeing the fact that even when I Googled the exact title of the video and it's no longer showing up in any of the search engines, at least in the past, I could find my videos on Bing and DuckDuckGo and Yahoo. They would at least show up in the search. I mean, it wouldn't show up in Google, but it would show up on the Yahoo search, on the Bing search, on the DuckDuckGo search. At least it would show up. Now, it's just missing on all of them. And it's kind of soul-crushing when you spend all this time trying to, work on your craft and trying to put out a product for people, and then to just be squashed like that. Almost makes you want to cry. So yes, I do need to try a different channel, and I should quit whining until I actually try a different channel just to see what happens. So thank you for the encouragement there, Aylin Durrell. Very nice. Unity equals can't vote. Yeah, we don't need ballots. We read thumb drives. Exactly. We don't need to do any of that. That's all silly. They don't know not to grope people. I doubt it. No, that's it. They just don't know any better. They don't know any better. They don't know any better. What happened to Optimistic Tom? I know, right? No, typically I think of myself as very optimistic. I try to present an optimistic point of view. And I tell you what, this morning when I was putting the show together, it just became a little overwhelming to me. Just seeing that all of my videos are not searchable on any search engine at all is just, it's not a conspiracy theory, okay? Try it yourself. It's not a conspiracy theory, but it is kind of crushing. But I will be optimistic tonight. I'm going to go out of my way to try to put together a really fun show tonight for Midnight Americano. So let's see that. Businesses used to put AAA before their business name to be first in the yellow pages. Yeah, that was old school. Old school search engine optimization. There'd be AAA plumbing and, AAA yard service and all of that. Yeah, that was all very good. Anyone remember the yellow pages? I do. In fact, I think as a teenager, if I remember correctly, I think I did some work delivering yellow pages. I think. I don't know. Maybe that's just a created memory. Maybe this is the Mandela effect. But I remember either delivering yellow pages or collecting yellow pages. Once the new one went out, I went around collecting the old ones. But I'm not sure. I have a vague memory of that, but I'm not even sure. And I didn't post about it on Facebook, so I can't go back and check that out. Nobody moves, nobody gets hurt. Right. Nobody move, nobody gets hurt. NWA. Yeah. Turkey-flavored ice cream. I don't want that to be good, but I'd probably like it. I think I would too. Mac and cheese ice cream with bacon. Oh my goodness. Well, I confess, I'm a chocolate ice cream guy, and in my opinion, I mean, why have anything else? But no, there's lots of good ice cream. Mac and cheese with bacon. I'd probably like it, but I'd probably like it. I don't know that I could order that in public though. Might be a little embarrassing. My stream on Rumble is smooth. Well, that's good to hear. In fact, Rumble just announced, I saw this morning, they have a new way, a new studio for publishing videos and being live. I haven't used it yet because I just saw that it went live today. So I'm going to be checking that out, and hopefully I'll be able to use that for some new things. In fact, one of the things that I believe you can do in it is you can then have a conversation with somebody else on Rumble through the app. So you're broadcasting live. So perhaps, for example, maybe I wanted Big Daddy as a guest, and on his Rumble account, he could stream, and I could just put it in a little box on the screen here. And I believe that's possible. I'm going to check it out, and I'm going to see if we can do something with that, because I think that really opens up the possibilities of what we can do on this show. If we're able to have live guests without having to go through Skype or Zoom or, do all kinds of other stuff, if it can be done in app, man, that's going to be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. And I'll let you know how that goes. Gonzo the Good says, screw the algorithm. We are real people, not bots, and we like your videos. Thank you, Gonzo the Good. I appreciate that more than you realize. I really do. So thank you for that. And you can smash the like button if you haven't already. Thank you very much. Wonder how dark beer ice cream would taste. I've had like a stout flavored ice cream, and it was really good. It was really good. The videos you make echo an eternity. Is it? Okay, I don't know if that's literal or not. I'm a very literal person, and I take most things literally. I'm gonna. Big Daddy says, yeah, new, and I'm gonna pull it. Okay, that's cool. I don't think I could pull. I don't have a vehicle strong enough, I don't think, that could pull a trailer, unless it were a smaller trailer. I could probably pull a small trailer, but not a massive trailer. I'm gonna live in the RV, while I build a house. Well, that is really awesome, Big Daddy. That's an exciting project, and if you're gonna do something like that, that might be the kind of thing to document, even if you had like where you did like a weekly update or something like that. You could show the progress. You could show, oh, here's the plot of land I bought. Now we've cleaned it up. Now I've put in a foundation. But those are the kind of things that people can get interested in and follow. You could have a blog. You could have, just an Instagram account where you documented this stuff, where people could follow along in the whole process. I think you'd be surprised. I think a lot of people would really be interested in it. And it is serving other people, because sometimes when we see other people do stuff, and we're like, oh, I'm kind of like that guy. Oh, I could do that too. And it really is encouraging for other people to do whatever it is that you want to do. So that would be my encouragement. If you want to, make an Instagram account, Big Daddy's house building adventure or something, whatever, even if it was as little as just an Instagram account that you posted some random stuff on. I think it would be something that people would be interested in, and I would follow it if you did that. That's for sure. I rode Amtrak in the 70s with my dad, going to Angel and Dodger games. Nice ride. Yeah. Wink, wink, nod, nod to the other channel. Exactly. Ever since you did the show on Joe before the election, you've been snuffed out. Yeah, that was it. I've looked at the analytics, and I've pretty much determined that it was the thumbnail of Joe Biden with a Louis Vuitton bag over his shoulder with money falling out of it. That was around the time that my channel seemed to disappear from everything. Wonder if that's related. Your show is the one show I adjust my schedule for, Tom. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. I delivered the penny saver in the old days in Southern California. I remember the penny savers. That's, I don't think there's a penny saver anymore, but essentially it was kind of like a Craigslist. They would have cheap ads, and local businesses could also buy ads because maybe the newspaper were too expensive. So you could advertise, you could buy half a page in the Penny Saver for a reasonable rate if you just had a small business. So it did serve a good purpose. I did a random search for Don't Be Dead Right, Today's News, Coffee Nuance 132, and Coffee and Nuance Biden Amtrak for a Ride, and Google showed you at least the channel when I entered the whole heading. Yeah, if you search and include Coffee and Nuance, one word, on the regular thing, it will at least show my channel. Like, it'll show the channel. But I think if you're searching for a video, probably a lot of people would click on the video tab. And when you're on the video tab, it just doesn't seem to show up. But thanks for checking that out. I'm glad that at least the channel showed up. Says, I didn't get any results on any search engine. Yeah. I want that stout ice cream. I'm drinking stout right now. Well, cheers. Oh, it's a porter. A porter's good too. A porter ice cream would be quite good. I could go for a porter ice cream. I could go for a porter ice cream for lunch. That sounds nice. So you gave me some good ideas there. Something to look at. Have you made ice cream at home? It's amazingly easy. You know, if you got a little machine. I have a machine. You freeze the container. Of course, when I make ice cream, I make it so rich and so sweet and so over the top that I'm sure like half a cup is 500 calories or something. I can't make a low cal ice cream, and it's so good I can't not eat it, you know. But that gives me an idea. Maybe I'll try to make a stout ice cream. That sounds really good. So thanks for the suggestion there. What's up? Let's see. Natasha says, take my advice, Tom. Your broadcasting volume is too low. I did turn it up a little bit. I've been listening to YouTube all day. Everyone else is easy to hear. Okay. One of the things that's really hard to do is actually follow through and take advice like this, Natasha. I really appreciate you telling me what I actually need to do, right, is later on go and listen to what my video sounds like on my phone, and see what it's like and compare it to other videos. That's what I need to do so that I can make the adjustments. I'm looking at my little monitor here, and it seems to be, yeah, cranked up as high as it can go, and it seems to be at good levels. But if that's not the case, I will try to make even more adjustments, although I'm not sure how I could make an adjustment because it seems to be turned up all the way. But thank you for repeating that. Sometimes we need to hear things a number of times before we act on them. So let's see. Tomorrow, let's see if the volume is any better. Yeah. Natasha says, I've made garlic ice cream. It was potent. 8 little nibbles with wine and cheese. Oh, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. I love the idea of guests and collabs. I do too. And the thing is, I just want it to be easy. Trying to do this, it just gets more and more complicated, where there's more and more things that can go wrong. And so for them to come up with a way to do this within the app, if it works, that's going to be really cool. And it could really change and open up the opportunities of what we can do here on this channel. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. Lucid, did you design your future home, or are you using plans from somewhere else? Interesting. I never like IPAs and stouts. Well, Fat Cyborg, it sounds to me like you're living on the other side of the country, because here in the Northwest, we're all about the IPAs. And you think, oh, I couldn't get into IPAs. But if you're in the Northwest, there are so many IPAs, and we have so many breweries here. Portland actually has more breweries than any other city. I don't know, 150, something like that. within the city. It's ridiculous how many breweries we have. Part of that is due to some zoning laws, and it's a lot easier to have breweries here than in other places. But because of the hops, right? A lot of the hops that are used in brewing, you know, one of the main hops is Cascade hops, the Cascade Mountains in the Northwest. And so there's lots of Northwest IPAs. And when there's so many different ones, you keep trying different ones, it just grows on you. As opposed to if you're living in a place that you don't have an IPA that much, then you're not used to it and it tastes odd. So that's my guess on that. Use your Android phone when you listen to your videos in comparison to other videos from other channels, because my phone is an Android. Thanks. I will try to do that. Tom, make Erie Ferry your first collab. Well, I'm going to try that out. I'm going to try this new system and see if I'm able to have a guest on through the app. That'll be really cool if I can do that. Wow, have you toured all the Portland breweries? No chance. There's no chance that you could tour all of them. There's way too many. There are way too many. And now, that actually might be a fun channel, right? You know, maybe that channel would take off. You know, Tom tours breweries, because I could do a brewery a week. And honestly, it would probably take 2 years to get through all of them here in Portland, in the Portland area. That's how many there are. But that's an idea. That actually, I don't know. I don't know that I'd be adding a whole lot to the world by just touring breweries. But I guess it'd be fun. Get a little expensive. That's for sure. Yeah, he doesn't remember that he told that Amtrak story before. Yeah, absolutely. Mountain Dew 7. Totally bizarre. Totally bizarre. So, yeah. Document. I'll do it. Good idea. I'm so glad that you're going to do this, because I think it would be a really fun thing. You know, I had a friend that a couple of years ago did this van life. Him and his girlfriend at the time, they were going to go out and tour around and do rock climbing and, you know, be a vegan and rock climb and live in a van. And so he had a little Instagram account, and it was really awesome because I could follow their adventures on what they were doing. And even though it really didn't take off in popularity, it was really cool. It was something that I looked forward to. And even if there's people online and you just start following them, you feel like you know them. And I think that's really good, especially in society today where we feel so detached a lot of times. To have people that you feel like you know, even if you don't, even if you haven't met them in person, I think is a really good thing, and I think it's probably mentally healthy thing to have. I know there's a term for it, but I can't remember what it is. But yeah, I think it would be really cool. You know, whether you do it on Facebook or Instagram or make a YouTube channel or whatever you do, I think it would be a fun thing. Let us know on this channel when you get it started, and you'll have your first, you know, dozen followers, so we can follow your adventures in building a house. Wow, that's really cool. I've never built a house from scratch. I have done some remodeling, and I've done like I've rewired houses and worked on you know, installing windows and doors and walls, all that good stuff. But I feel like I've done enough that I could probably do the whole house. But I've never done that, and that's quite a project to take on. But man, that sounds like a lot of fun. It's something to be really excited about, and that's optimism there, right? That's something to be really optimistic about. That's a deal, Tom. Well, cool. I love it. I love it. I look forward to, you got to let us know where you're going to do it and what your channel name is so we can all follow along here. Anyway, that's all I have for you all today. I hope you have a beautiful, glorious day today. Despite me being a little dour in today's show, I'm going to pull it together. I'm going to flip things around and come back with something optimistic and fun tonight for Midnight Americano. And if not, I'll be back tomorrow here, Coffee and Nuance, noon on the West Coast, 3 p.m. on the East Coast. It's a Wednesday, so that means it's a Big Idea Wednesday. We got to find some kind of psychological idea that's either interesting or useful or both. So stop by and see what I find out. Anyway, hope you all have a beautiful day. Till next time, peace.